No. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I think I'm here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Hold on just a second.
Yeah, no worries. Let me put the dogs upstairs anyways. They're gonna cause havoc.
Okay.
Go, go.
Doing a Zoom meeting for this watershed stuff. If you can hop on for this. All right.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm like doing three things at once right now.
No worries, man.
I'm trying to tag this lady Linda in the group message because she was involved with like the first round of water testing.
Okay.
For this next meeting. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. So have you got a chance to look at this yet, this management plan?
I glanced at it. I haven't fully run through it. Did you send it to me in an email or was that on Facebook?
I sent it out to everybody that originally expressed interest in joining or in participating. But basically in 2014 or 2016, I can't remember when, they did a lot of research, and all these people right here were involved with this advisory committee. And so Linda Wilson was in the group, and I really hope to get her on either in this meeting or next month to kind of talk to us about it. But basically, where do you live, David?
Oh, I live in Ringgold.
Okay. So you're just involved just as like an advocate for the environment, I guess.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess so. I'm not directly implicated, I guess, in anything that happens on Lookout Mountain, but I do, as a former trail builder and as a person that has spent more than half their life in the woods and in creeks, Lookout, Rock Creek, one to be one of them. It's kind of in my interest lately, and now that I'm out of full-time trail building and I've taken up fishing mostly as my main gig right now. It's kind of I'm I'm getting into the volunteer aspect of anything fishing related or creeks or stuff like that.
Hold on, Linda just responded right now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hold on, let me respond to her.
Yeah, I think it was an email that you sent me.
Yeah. All right. So I own property both in Dade County, Georgia, that falls in the Lookout Creek watershed, and I own property in Chattanooga, Tennessee, that is in the Lookout Creek watershed. So this is just a map of Lookout Creek right here. So it runs all the way from Valley Head, Alabama, up through Dade County. This is DeKalb County, Alabama.
Yeah.
Up through Dade County, and then into Chattanooga. There's 10,000 acres of Chattanooga that are in this watershed.
Okay.
And so there's sub watersheds. There's the Lookout Creek watershed, Crawfish Creek, Dry Creek, Gulf Creek, Pope Creek, Sitton Creek, Squirreltown Creek. So I actually don't think Rock Creek is part of it. I think Rock Creek is like on this. Oh, can't see where I'm circling my mouse.
No, I'm watching.
You can see my mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Rock Creek is like somewhere in this part of Lookout Mountain.
Okay.
But are you familiar with like what like river keeper societies and citizen advocacy group? Are you familiar with the South Chickamauga Creek Greenway Alliance?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I follow Andy Carroll, and he's because he lives right on North Chickamauga Creek and is always posted about stuff with them. I don't maybe not exactly the North Chickamauga Creek alliance necessarily, but
there's two. There's the North Chickamauga Creek Conservancy and okay, so she can't do it right now. All
yeah.
right. All right. Well, here we go. Just me and you for the first month.
Cool, man. That's fine.
But I have had about a dozen or so people. Some of them live in the watershed. Some of them are residents of North Georgia, like yourself, or Chattanooga, that don't necessarily live in the watershed, but they play in the watershed.
Right.
So this document, Lookout Creek is one of the watershed is 70% forest, but as Chattanooga continues to grow, it's going to be threatened, like everywhere else. And
Yeah.
there's been a lot of expansion that's, kind of went unchecked and stuff. And so there needs to be like a citizens advocacy group to help make this action plan come to life. This is a management plan that they put together. And I mean, I went through and I read this thing. It took me about 2 hours. But
Yeah.
I read this 70-page thing, and it goes through like the different boundaries and the watershed conditions. And they've done some testing. And that lady Linda, okay, this is an important slide right here. So it shows like the areas of Lookout Creek that are currently, threatened.
Yeah.
Or impaired rather. And so there's the Gulf Creek sub watershed. And I'm not sure if this is like I'm not sure where this falls in relation to Cloudland Canyon.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think this right here might be Cloudland Canyon, but I'm not. I actually have not explored all of this watershed. The headwaters are trout streams. I didn't know there's trout, in North
Yeah,
Alabama.
yeah. I mean, there's trout in Ringgold, in Tiger Creek.
Do they stock them?
Yeah, yeah. It's right outside of Tiger Creek Elementary School.
Oh, she's going to join us.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
So those are the two impaired watersheds, and they went out and they've done testing, and basically what we need to do is follow up with the county. I'm trying to get to the slide or the page that has all the dates that are going on, and then I can come back and show you this other stuff. So
Okay, I'm trying to find it on the map here now. So there's signal.
oh, here comes Linda. Hey, Linda.
Hello. Let me turn my volume up.
Here, I'm going to stop sharing for a second just so we can introduce ourselves. All right.
I currently don't have video, I don't think.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't see an option to turn yours on either. So my name's
Hold
Adam
on. There we
Foster.
go.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
I own property in the Lookout Creek watershed on the Dade County side, and I own property in Chattanooga on the Hamilton County side. So my property up on Lookout is on the corner of Scenic Highway and Durham Road, and there are ephemeral wetlands on my property, so they flow into the watershed. And then my property in Chattanooga, which is where I live, I rent the house on Lookout out, and my dad lives in another house out there, and I've got some goats out there. At one point it was an operational farm, and I had my tax write-off or my tax number and everything. I need to get that set up again, but anyways, that's my ADD kicking in. But basically, I have been involved in the South Chickamauga Creek Greenway Alliance, which is a group that is working to get a greenway. They've got a lot of the greenway built along South Chickamauga Creek to help protect it and to help make it available for people that want to canoe and kayak. Linda was involved with the first part of this management plan that they put forward, so she probably knows more about it than me. They came out to your property, right, and tested?
Well, I really don't know a lot. They asked permission to test on our property, yes, and the gentleman that was doing it, the young man that was doing the study, he worked out of the public library.
Okay.
And I was a volunteer at the public library, so I was in and out of there a lot, and talked to him, and he may just have put my name on things because he knew me. About all I was involved in was just kind of keeping up with him and talking to him, and them coming on our property. I remember that there were only a couple of places that were serious, had a serious issue. I don't know if you can even remember where they were. I think it was Lookout Creek near the Tennessee line.
Yeah.
And maybe a Hurricane Creek here in Rising Pond.
Yeah, that's what we were just looking at. Let's see. David, go ahead and take a second to introduce yourself to Linda while we've got the screen set up like this.
Okay. I'm really just like an avid outdoorsman. I built mountain bike and hiking trails for almost 20 years, and I lived in the woods pretty much. And I've been all over Chattanooga and all over Lookout Mountain, Signal Mountain, all the mountains, Nashville, you name it, Alabama, Georgia. So And now that my body's kind of destroyed, I've taken up fishing full time, and so I have an active interest because I enjoy the fact that Chattanooga has so much woods and so much creeks and so many watersheds nearby that are accessible, and then also have great wildlife and fish and all sorts of things in them. So,
Well, that's what Lookout Creek is designated as its designated use is fishing.
Okay.
So the goal of what I'm trying to do here is to start something similar to the South Chickamauga Creek Greenway Alliance or the North Chickamauga Creek Conservancy or something like that. A group of citizens that they've already published this management plan, but it needs citizen involvement to help bring it to life. And so I took 2 hours last week and I read through this 70-page management plan that mentions Linda's name, and then I went and I tried to find everybody, and my friend Bonnie
Casey.
is friends with Linda, so helped me connect there. So basically I plan once a month meetings. Eventually, when we're able to meet in person, I would like to see meetings in Trenton with the stakeholders that live down there, and meetings in Tiftonia with the stakeholders that live, closer up to Chattanooga and stuff. And we'll help. Um, let me show you guys on this action plan. Linda, you might have already seen it.
Well, it's been a few years.
Well, 2021 is supposed to be a big year for the management plan. There's a bunch of stuff that's supposed to happen on here. Let me get to that page that has the dates that they're supposed to. Okay, here we go. So just take a second and look over these. Look over these events that are supposed to happen in 2021. So there's supposed to be another monitoring group happening this year. There's supposed to be some sort of county commission press release.
I see that. Who was supposed to make this all happen?
So it's falling on the county commissioners. I've got the contacts are up at the top. So of course I have to scroll all the way back up to the top. But I've looked online. It mentions in here that there's a Lookout Creek Conservancy. I think they typed wrong and they meant to type Lookout Mountain Conservancy. But which I donate to the Lookout Mountain Conservancy once a month, and I'm a member of Reflection Writing. But when I look at their websites and stuff, I don't see much about the Lookout Creek watershed. I don't think that's like their main focus. And as Dade County residents, most everybody, the water that supplies my property on the mountain comes from Lookout Creek watershed. Let's see here we go. Here's all the people involved, and I think it falls under the county commissioners. So Ted Rumley, he's still in office.
Yes, Anthony Emanuel is not. City of Trenton.
Okay.
The current mayor is Alex Case.
Okay.
Verenus Hawkins is my mother. She's 88, but still around.
Okay.
Robert Goff and Ted Rumley are both still on the county commission.
Okay.
The health department, those folks have changed too.
Okay.
Doug Anderson at the Water Authority retired and then died recently. Mary Petruska is passed away.
Saw that. I looked her up.
Katie Hammond has moved to another job. The person in that office is Sarah Dyer.
Okay.
Patty Nethery is still around. She is actually the wife of Anthony Emanuel, who was the mayor, but she is, I believe she's gone off the Board of Health. I know she's not the chair anymore. I think George Reed is local physical therapist.
Okay.
But Gass is still around, and I think he's still involved with the Coosa River Soil and Water District.
Does Lloyd live in Dade County?
Yes, he lives on Sand Mountain. He's a farmer.
Okay.
And a retired teacher. Robin Ford Wallace is no longer reporting for the Dade Planet. She kind of retired from that. She still is around. The Dade Sentinel is in the Independent is an online paper now. The Dade Sentinel is the only print one. So it looks like a lot of our contacts are no longer with us.
That's what I was worried about. You know,
it looks like there is a Lookout Mountain Conservancy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a Lookout Mountain Conservancy, but there's not any sort of Lookout Creek. They're not Lookout Mountain Conservancy. So one thing we could do as a citizens advocacy group, and I've got more people that are interested, but because this is last minute and I'm trying to do once a month meetings, that's why we don't have many people on right now. But one thing I would like to do is encourage Lookout Mountain Conservancy and the Georgia Land Trust to kind of work together and help preserve the parts of the watershed that that could be preserved. And I'm a second grade teacher. I've got a master's in education, so I could lead like elementary type education about the importance of buffers. My undergraduate is anthropology with a focus in environmental science, so I'm knowledgeable of a lot of this stuff. And we've got some great people, people like David that are just avid outdoorsmen, and we've got property owners and other from Hamilton County and Dade County that both fall in the watershed that are interested in being involved with this from when I initially reached out. But what I guess the number one goal right now is to continue to get citizens that are interested in sticking up for the watershed, and then figuring out who we need to replace these contacts with, and start having people contact and figure out what's going on with this management plan. So, we've got
I think if you talk, I think talking to Ted Drumley would be a good place to start to see if they even remember or if anything has been done in this plan, because I really don't know.
Okay. So that's where we'll start. We'll talk to Ted Rumley, and this was published by somebody down in Cartersville, right? Is the guy that published this?
I'm trying to remember his name. Dan something, I think. Is there a name on?
Here, let me clear my drawings.
I remember him very well, but I think they were moving. He and his family were moving after. Oh, there's my creek.
Right there?
The lower right one. Yeah, that's on our farm.
Okay. Yeah,
Daniel,
Daniel Husser,
yeah.
Limestone Valley RC&D Council.
Okay. That, I mean, he is contracted with them, I think, and there were some students from UTC who did some of the, going out and collecting water samples with him. I guess I need like almost an internship or something. I didn't really, I don't remember much about any of them, but I saw him quite a bit at the library.
Well, they're supposed to come out. 2021 is supposed to be the year that all this stuff happens. And so what I want to do is I want to, it takes forever to scroll down. This is a thick document. There's a lot of good information in it, but some of it's kind of dry. Let's see. But I don't understand why they would put all this work into this, and then I mean I haven't heard much from Reflection Writing about it, and they're supposed to be really involved in the Lookout Mountain Conservancy. And like I said, I'm a member of both. So again, all this, where's my little?
Oh, I think some government agency had this done, but I don't know. I'm not sure what agency it was.
I'm going to go ahead and take a snip of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a Facebook group with anybody that said they're interested in helping with this. Let's see. I'm going to call this 2021 Watershed. And I'll post this in here because this is a lot of stuff. See, there's a lot of stuff that's supposed to happen this year. And so, one thing we can do is I'd like to push for kind of a blueway from the Cummings Highway boat launch where I fish a lot too. So I put in my canoe at Cummings Highway and I fish Lookout Creek. And so what I'd like to see is like the establishment of a blueway, kind of they have with the South Chickamauga Creek Blueway. David, are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I know the term.
Yeah, but it's basically kind of like a public use, and we can market it to the Dade County Commission. But this helps with tourism. Like Chattanooga is a big tourist industry, and Trenton can get on some of that too if we have this kind of blueway from. Doesn't the creek run through Jenkins Park in Trenton? Or am I wrong?
A creek runs through Jenkins Park. I don't think it's Lookout Creek because Lookout it's a small creek that probably runs into Lookout.
I know there's a put-in somewhere down there because I've talked to people that have went all the way from like where Highway 136 crosses over Lookout Creek. I think there might be like a put-in there, but they've went from there down to the Tennessee River. And my friend Jay, who is interested in helping with this group but couldn't come to the meeting tonight because I did it last minute, he's went all the way from Rising Fawn to the Tennessee River. So, I think I've got a few goals. I want to help support this management plan. I want to get a group of citizens interested. So, if there's like a big creek cleanup, we could go do that together. If there's, like some sort of community event, we could set up a booth about educating about leaving vegetation buffers along your water and your property. Because I go up the way I get up to my property on Lookout. I go through like what is it, New England there, and go to by where the hang gliders are at the bottom of the mountain. And there's this dude there that's just like, he's got a stream coming through his property, and he went through a backhoe and like just tore this thing up. It's just going to create more erosion. It's going to be more sediments in the water. When I came back through, there was a blue heron standing right there. And the thing is, like, I want this to be nonpartisan. I don't want to come off like a bunch of hippies trying to tell people what to do with their property, like it. But I want to kind of copy the work that I've seen the South Chickamauga Creek Greenway Alliance do. And I want to copy the work that I've seen the North Chickamauga Creek Conservancy do. Because as Chattanooga continues to grow, this watershed is going to be threatened because it's still 70% forest. So I mean that like it's going to come under pressure, and there has to be a citizens group to say, hey, this is our drinking water. This is a fishing destination for people that want to come in and fish. This is a tourist attraction for people that want to come in and paddleboard, and kind of just make sure that this action plan, this management plan, is being put into place. So I don't want anybody to work so much that you can't do what you like to do. So many hands make light work. So the goal right now is to expand the group, have a bigger meeting next month, and then follow up with some of these Dade County commissioners to make sure that this stuff is still happening. So I guess that's the next plan.
Ted is easy to approach and talk to.
Okay. Would you mind approaching him, or do you want me to contact him?
I think it'd be better if you did, just because I'm not sure what you're looking. I mean, I'm not that clear on what you want to do. I haven't had this experience with the Chickamauga Creek organization and so on. You can tell him I told you to talk to him. I've known him since he was in the first grade and I was in the second grade.
Okay. Do you know my dad, George Foster? Bud
well,
Foster?
I was about to ask you if that's who your dad was. He's a little older than I am, but I think he was good friends with one of my cousins, Kathy Hawkins.
Oh, Kathy was awesome. She
you knew Kathy too, then, huh?
Yeah. So I failed 7th grade English because I was a bad kid.
But now you have a master's degree.
Well, I knew the stuff. I just didn't want to work. Yeah, my parents were like it was rough at that point, and they ended up separating when I was in 8th grade. But Kathy is the reason why I went on to 8th grade.
Well, good.
Yeah, she was a great woman. Yeah. So my goal right now is to just touch base with him and making sure that stuff I just circled is still happening. And then, David, are you friends with anybody up at the Lookout Mountain Conservancy? I know you've been real involved with Lookout Mountain.
I wouldn't say real involved, but I was looking on their website, and Chrysler Torrance is he's a friend of mine that I worked with at Green Life, and he's one of the guys that helped get the St. Elmo Trail pushed through. Okay. Remember that whole thing where they saved a section of St. Elmo and made like the St. Elmo Trail that goes up the side of the mountain? Yeah, like a national, not national, but maybe a state project.
Yeah.
So I'm friends with him. I'm also my old boss. His mom lives in Rising Pond.
Okay.
And their property backs up to Lookout Creek. So okay. I'll definitely contact her, and and I'm not a hippie, but she's a hippie. And so she'll be all over this. So.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's one thing I like. I love the hippies that come on board, but I don't want the public to think, oh, these are a bunch of tree hugging hippies. We have to market it in a way where it's like, this is for the best interest of all the citizens. We all want clean drinking water. We all want, our environment to look the same for generations to come. But we also understand that people have to make money. We recognize that businesses are going to come to Dade County, and businesses are going to expand in Chattanooga and Dade County and Alabama and everywhere that the watershed touches. And we're not against that, but there's ways to develop businesses and grow your agricultural operations and stuff that don't damage the water. And it's mentioned in this plan, leave the vegetative buffers, leave,
Right.
you know, it's all outlined in that plan. So
Right.
first step is to just get more people involved. I'm going to create a Facebook group. I'm going to come up with a catchy name. I'm going to, you guys reach out to people that would be interested in this type of work. And I think the long term goal should be the establishment of some sort of greenway that goes from Tiftonia to Trenton, that would be good for the tourism industry, that like they've seen in Chattanooga and other cities where they've done this kind of work. It could be that could be something we could market to the Dade County Commission. It's like this could help with tourism. Protecting the creek could help with tourism. So
Right.
Who's your hippie friend, David?
Uh, do you know Rain McCrae?
No, I don't.
So she's probably lived in Rising Fawn. I want to say not her whole life.
Uh,
So my old boss is named Zach Brown, and he's from Zach Brown Construction off of Signal Mountain. And
yeah,
so
I probably did.
his mom is Rain, and then an Ed. What's his last name? I guess McCrae is his last name, but so it used to be Rain Brown, but now it's Rain
Okay.
McCrae. And Ed is a realtor down in Rising Fawn.
Okay.
I don't think he's from there either, though.
No, because I've lived here 65 years, and so
Oh yeah, you definitely know.
I would know. Somebody, Adam, someone you might talk to while you're down there talking to Ted, because I don't know if he has regular office hours, but he's in the same building. William Back. Have you ever heard
William Dak.
Oh,
Back, B-A-C-K?
oh, I know William.
You know William?
I built for William. I built trails for William on his property on Sand Mountain.
Yeah.
I built up there for 3 years.
Well, good. You know him. William is a very interesting person. He is an attorney. He's also works at for the county in the area of development. He is just very concerned about a lot of things, and he might be a good person to get to talk to about this.
Yeah, I don't have his number, but
he has an office in the county commission building. So
okay.
if you talk to Ted, they can direct you to his office.
Okay. Andy's got a lot of money.
And he is very helpful.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I wanted to try to do at our first meeting is to come up with a name. So one thing I've got pulled up here. This is a database of all the different watershed groups in Tennessee. So these are some of the names: the Boone Watershed Partnership, Buffalo Creek Watershed Alliance, Caney Fork Watershed Association, Carter Martin Whitewater Club, Chickamauga Hiwassee Watershed Team. So these are the kind of names that that you usually see. And so, some of them are official groups, and we're not an official group. I have no intention of becoming a nonprofit. We already have the Lookout. We already have the Lookout Mountain Conservancy. We already have the Reflection Riding. We already have Georgia Land Trust. What I want to do is be more of like an alliance or a group or something like that works with the government and with the nonprofits to protect the watershed. So what do you guys think for a name? Lookout Creek Watershed Alliance?
Well, I think it's going to have Lookout Creek in it just to identify it.
Yeah. Lookout Creek Watershed Coalition, Lookout Creek Coalition. We could be the Lookout Creek Greenway Alliance. If you guys agree in a goal of establishing a greenway, do you guys agree?
I'm not sure I don't know enough about what the ins and outs of exactly what it means to have a greenway.
Basically, it's open for public use either side of the creek, which it already is because it's designated for fishing. But the Greenway Alliance, usually you work to have property owners get like a tax easement, conservation easement to have like a little walkway go along the creek and the vegetative buffers, kind of like if you've ever been to the South Chickamauga Creek Greenway, that would give you an example,
Yeah.
it just
But
makes it,
I haven't, so I
yeah,
don't know.
but making it available for public use helps people connect with the water, so they're more likely to want to protect the water, so, and then property owners benefit because it reduces their tax burden. So it's really a win. It's a win for the county because it brings in tourism dollars. It's a win for property owners because they get tax relief, through
Yeah, but I
conservation.
think you'll have to sell. I think that might be a hard sell for some people. For instance, and as I told you, I think our property actually is not on Lookout Creek. It's on Dry Creek, but
Right.
Dry Creek runs into Lookout just past our property. All
Right.
our property is fenced and has cattle on it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want Tom, Dick, and Harry coming into our pasture and leaving our gates open,
Right.
So that might not be an easy sale.
You're past Trenton though, aren't you?
We're in Rising Pond. We're almost to the Alabama state line.
Yeah, I don't plan on trying to go that far.
Yeah. Well, but there's going to be farmers.
Yeah.
In other places too.
Okay, so that may not be a goal, that.
Well, that's what I mean about the Greenway. It might work. I just don't know enough about who owns property and how many, but I'm sure there'll be some farmers.
And that's something, we haven't even got a team of people together yet. So I don't know about having Greenway in our name.
Well, that's what I was thinking. You might not want to put that out up front.
What about Lookout Creek Coalition? Does that sound good?
Or co-op or stewardship or something like that.
Yeah, I think Lookout Creek Coalition sound. You don't want it to be a mouthful.
Yeah.
A mouthful, like five or six words, something.
Yeah.
Simple.
Lookout Creek Coalition. All right, that's what I'll go with. And that way, Lookout Mountain Conservancy doesn't feel like we're trying to, go against them. I want it to be like we're working with everybody involved. We're not trying to step on anybody's toes. But we do want to make sure that there's clean water and that the watershed is protected for generations to come. And so I guess Linda, your homework is to just let people know about it. Anybody that would want to be in it, I'm going to go ahead and make a Facebook group, and then you can add people that you think may be interested to the Facebook group. I will go ahead and reach out to what was his name Ted
Rumley, and I suggested William back also.
And David, you said you knew William?
Yeah, I know him pretty well.
Are you on good terms with him?
Yeah, I worked for him for 3 years.
Okay, well, you reach out to him for me. I'll reach out to Ted. You reach out to him. We're going to go with the name Lookout Creek Coalition for now. It's not too much, it doesn't imply that we're trying to start our own nonprofit or anything crazy like that. We're citizens that want to take care of the water. That's all we are. So, we don't want to be identified as like radical or anything like that. We're not trying to tell people what to do with their land and stuff. But all right, well, I think that was a good first meeting, and then we'll plan a meeting in advance so you guys aren't really slammed last minute with it next month. So, Linda, thank you.
I have a book meeting coming up too tonight.
Well, thank you for sharing what you know about this project so far, and helping me understand it. I figured a lot of these people were probably no longer involved because they were elected positions and appointed positions, and people changed jobs. And then when I looked up the one lady that ran the nonprofit, I saw that she had passed away. Well, Mary
Yes.
Petruska, yeah. So
I don't know who's. I'm not sure who's doing Tree City. It might be Eloise Gas.
okay,
But I can give you some names. I can give you some names on. Uh, well, at least I can send you a list of who's not available, and maybe some of them you may have. I can tell you who's replaced them.
yeah,
Some of them I do know.
okay. Well, I appreciate everybody's help. I'm going to go create the group right now, and you guys have your homework, and we'll meet again next month.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for your help, everybody.
Let's see. Hold on. What? Oh, she went away. What's
No,
the? Okay. It's the Dade County Commission's office or that?
yeah. Go in the Dade County Commissioner's office, and they can show you where, direct you to Williams' office. It's in there. It's the building where we vote.
Okay.
The one with the green roof.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to let
Alrighty.
you guys get off and do whatever you need to do. It's been a long day for me. Thank you so much, and I'm excited about this project. I think it's going to be successful. Our first meeting with 3 people.
Gotta start
hey,
somewhere.
hey, those South Chickamauga Creek Greenway Alliance meetings, they have like 20 or 30 people every month that show up, and it's just going to grow from here. All it takes is getting the ball rolling and being excited, and then once the people that are in the government and in the nonprofits hear that we are doing this kind of work, they will be excited and will get on board. And that's all it takes is citizen involvement. All right.
Right.
Well, I will talk to y'all. If I don't see you sooner, I'll see you at the next meeting next month.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.